You'll see how fast the code works. And what it had done is it had entered the if part. If it would have entered the else part, it would have closed this window, which it didn't. It entered the if part and it selected one of the flights, that is 13494. So after it gets selected, the value gets populated over here. So as you can see, the same value got populated over here. So this is how the code has worked. And this is the importance of exist statement. Now it didn't run the else part because we didn't have any problem with this. But suppose there are no flights available. Suppose I enter certain value and click on flights, there are no flights available. So it won't be able to select this flight. And QTP will throw error, which we don't want. And instead of throwing error, we want to QTP to swiftly close this code and close the window. So we can just write this code and it will execute the else part, it will close the window, and QTP will come to the end of the code. So this is how we handle exceptions using exist. Now after exist, we'll see how wait statement works. Wait statement is nothing but a simple statement. Earlier synchronization point and in exist, in both the cases we had seen that there is some condition associated with them. For example, for synchronization you waited till the button gets enabled, whereas in exist we waited till the new dialog box appears. But in wait statement there is no such condition. So I'll comment the previous code. As I said, wait statement has no condition. That means this line of code without any condition just will wait for 1 second. And this code is as simple as it looks. Wait 2 seconds, wait 10 seconds. So let's execute this. See, it waited for 1 second, here it waited for 2 seconds, it will wait for 10 seconds and then the code will stop. So as you can see that there is no condition associated with wait, but only if the application is slow and you want QTP to slow down, you can just insert wait statements in between so that QTP executes the code slowly. The next is insert sync statement. Now this is for web-based testing. A sync statement, what it does is whenever any page, a web page has to load, it has to go into sync. If you see the status bar, it will be better explained if I show you an example. So let's open any site. Say for example flipkart.com. and click on just record this use action. I'll click on men's section. So you'll see a code is generated. Now in men's section, suppose now if you see, it takes some time to load. This is where the sync comes into picture, because QTP is moving at a great faster speed. Now this page has not completely loaded. Now suppose I search for an object over here. For example, I'm clicking on watch. So if you see the load, the status bar over here, it's showing loading. I'll stop this. If you see, we have browsed from page men's store online by from online shopping India to men's store online by. So we have moved from one page to other, and every page takes some time to load. So that depends on various uh, situations such as the network speed, how good is the page, the user load on that page. For example, IRCTC has so much load that it takes a lot of time to load. So there could be different reasons. So what I'll do, so before navigating from one page to other, we'll add a sync statement in between, which will instruct QTP to wait till the page syncs, and we want this page to sync. So if you click on dot, there are different methods, and there's a sync method available. So what QTP will do is, once it clicks on men section in Flipkart, then it will wait for this page to sync. So once you click men section, this page will open men store online, and what QTP will do is it will wait for this page to sync, and once the page syncs, that is the page loads properly, all the objects are displayed, then QTP will click on this button, that is link men. We clicked on watches. So why I'm stressing importance on this is because suppose the watches link is not enabled by the time the page is opened, it's not necessary this link is displayed. So when QTP searches for that link, and if it doesn't find, it may throw an error, which we don't want, right? So by adding sync statement, we can sync the web pages with QTP. So we have gone through all the 4 synchronization statements. The 5th is modifying default load time in QTP. Now, what is default load time? As I said in insert sync statement, every web page takes some time to load depending on various factors. So modifying default load time for QTP is QTP will wait for that time for the web page to load, and if the web page doesn't load and QTP doesn't find the object, it will throw an error. For example, if you're giving a default load time for QTP, okay, by default the preset value is 60 seconds. That is, while QTP is running the script, suppose a page is not loading, QTP will wait for 60 seconds before it throws an error that the page is not found. So that is the default time. Now you can reduce the time or increase it depending on your requirement. And the next is modifying default timeout settings in QTP. Now to modify the maximum amount of time QTP waits for an object to appear, we have to change the object synchronization timeout in the it's in the or the option is available in File Settings Run tab. You can change the default object synchronization timeout. Now the default is 20 seconds. You can change this according to your requirement. So QTP will, by default, QTP will wait for 20 seconds for any object to get enabled before throwing an error. So if the object doesn't enable in that 20 seconds, it will throw an error automatically. Now the option for modifying the amount of time that QTP waits for a web page to load is File, and we go to Settings, and in Settings there is a Web tab. Now this is for web page, right? This setting, so you can find in File Settings Web tab, where the browser navigation timeout is 60 seconds. And the last one which we explained is the default timeout settings for test. That is for any object, for example the button to enable, so that is 20 seconds. Now it is available in the Run tab. if you see object synchronization timeout, so can be any object which has to synchronize, and QTP will wait for 20 seconds. Now this is the default timing and you can change it. So these are the different methods of synchronizing QTP with the different applications which are under test, and you can use them according to your own convenience and how it fits the requirement. Now since we have seen a bit about the objects, different objects and their methods which are associated with them, let's do some basic operations in Windows and web environment. So this will be a complete hands-on section, so I want all of you to open your QTP, and along with me you can do perform the different operations so that you'll be comfortable. Initially also, while explaining you different concepts, I'd shown you the practical approach to it. Now we'll see the actual how we are going to use them in the code. How we are going to use the different codes to achieve our requirement or achieve our functionality. So I have a list of activities which we can do, like activating a dialog box, entering data in edit box, combo box operations, win button operations. So there are different options available, different operations available. So we'll see one by one how QTP we can make the best use of our knowledge in coding and how to apply them.